The good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Hello everybody, I am your Immortal Afro Josh, and welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, a weekly series where I take several gaming topics and see where they fit in my good, bad, and ugly categories. So let's start with good so we can set this video off in a positive light. The good. Some of the best news I've heard in a while, Horizon Zero Dawn finally coming to the PC platform, via Steam. Always good to hear that the PC platform will be blessed with yet another new game. Horizon Zero Dawn, originally released on the PlayStation 4, was a fantastic game in my opinion. I even did a review of it way back. If you'd like to see it, click the eye above my head or check the link in the description. Even on the PS4 it looked beautiful, and I always wanted to see this game run at 60 FPS and at a higher resolution. And it doesn't seem like we'll have to wait long as it's set to release sometime this summer. And according to this article that I found on Niche Gamer, it's rumored that the studio is looking to turn this into a trilogy. Hopefully this is true. Why? Because fighting a giant T-Rex Gundam will never not be fun. It's really helpful when you're looking for those things, or, if you're anything like me, just want to fight badass Thunderjaws. Dude, fighting these creatures is pure bliss. This is what gaming is all about. Doing some of the most metal shit and coming out on top feeling like a goddamn boss. Where else can you say that you took on a gigantic, transforming looking robot T-Rex that was equipped with homing rockets, automatic laser beams, and I don't know, a tracking system? It's cool. Like this is the kind of stuff that really makes gaming great. Things that you would never be able to do in real life, but just have a ton of fun doing on the screen. Now on to the bad. The bad. Samurai Shodown releases as an exclusive for the Epic Games Store. Samurai Shodown. What the hell happened?
What did you do to my
game?
You what?
After all this time, you mean to tell me you still succumbed to the influence of Epic Games? You can imagine my surprise when the news came to me that this game was an Epic Games Store exclusive, when just months ago I made a whole video praising them for doing not that. Okay, sure, we don't know for certain that it was the Epic Games Store that initially approached them back then, but in my opinion, it was still a safe bet to take nonetheless. So what happened, SNK? Did Tim Sweeney put enough zeros at the end of that check? Were the PS4 sales not good enough? Now, my memory isn't the best, but I do remember a certain somebody saying something along the lines of that they're so confident in their game doing well that they don't need any exclusive incentives to release their game on PC. Now, this is relatively old news, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I made a whole video about it a while ago praising them for this, and this pretty much makes that moot. Now, I could be wrong. It's been over about either a year or a little over a year since the Epic Games Store launched. Surely it has, gotten better with time. I remember they had a roadmap, and I'm not sure how much of the things they've patched or addressed or fixed or have added since that last video. So as of right now, I don't know. So in a future video, I'm going to re-download the Epic Games Store app or whatever launcher and just see how far it's come. See if it's actually a good launcher that can be comparable to Steam. We'll see. As of right now, making this video, I don't know, but I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's been well over a year, and I can't stay hating the Epic Games Store. And in my previous videos, I did say I want it to be a competent competitor to Steam. So, like I said, it's been about a year. In a future video, I will review it, see how it's come after 12 months of existing. But we'll see. But that's more of a thing for me. This was bad news for me. But looks like at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to get Samurai Shodown later on Steam, which is fine. I wait for everything else, so this is no different. On to the next one. The good, but ugly. Sony unveiled their brand new Xbox controller. Yeah, you knew this was coming. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm a little conflicted with this new design because I didn't realize how much I appreciated the DualShock 4's aesthetics until they were gone. This new old Dual Sense controller definitely looks good and has some very interesting features. The only problem is that it looks a little too much like their competition. Now, of course, this is just my subjective opinion. We won't really know how good it is until we get it in our hands. So until then, just based off of how it looks, it does look good. Don't get me wrong. I know I said good, but ugly, the ugly only, leans more towards it looking like an Xbox controller. Not that it's actually ugly. Looks good. And we all know it will look better black.
So what do you think? Does it come in black?
And finally, last but certainly not least, the downright ugly. Undeniably, the biggest story in gaming this year, The Last of Us 2 controversy. The leaks, the spoilers, the reports on crunch and how they treat their developers, and the worst of them all, the reaction from Naughty Dog and Sony. This is a fire that just keeps getting bigger and brighter, and everybody, and I mean everybody, has their own bucket of kerosene and they're just unloading on it. And the memes are just delicious. They are straight up 10 out of 10. Some of the best the internet has come up with in a long time. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're one of those people who are trying to avoid spoilers, give up. There's no avoiding these spoilers. Whether they're in context or out of context, you're gonna know pretty much how it goes in The Last of Us Part 2, whether you want to or not. Sorry, not sorry. A quick synopsis of everything that's going on is that allegedly, the most popular theory is that a ex-Naughty Dog employee or a disgruntled employee somehow leaked several cutscenes and the plot of the entire game online for everybody to see. And of course, whether you believe him or not, it's kind of up to you whether you would, but Naughty Dog and Sony have fairly recently, within the last week, said that they found out who the leaker or leakers were, and that there were a bunch of hackers who somehow hacked a server, maybe the server of a personal employee who was working at home or something. I don't know the specifics, but essentially they're trying to shift the conversation from, hey, it's not a disgruntled employee that we were treating poorly, it was a bunch of hackers who found access to whatever data and leaked it that way. Now, whether or not you believe it is totally up to you. Me, I don't necessarily care, because what is true is that the leaks are out, and apparently with the whole crunch culture that's been plaguing Naughty Dog specifically, it's not good. None of it is a good look for Naughty Dog or Sony. And I can imagine that they would try to do certain things to cover it up or change the narrative, but one thing we know for sure is that the information's out there, and it is what it is. Now, what followed, unfortunately, was how Sony reacted to it, because you would expect a company to try to go about this in a very pleasant way, because this isn't a good look. Your game got leaked, everyone's accusing you of, undercutting your employees, not paying them for what the hell you put them through, and now your game's everywhere, and nobody, I swear, from what I've seen, nobody likes the direction the game's going. The narrative, the characters' fates, whatever you want to call it. No one seems to be happy or, particularly enthusiastic about how this game is going. So with all that being said, you would think Sony and Naughty Dog would approach this situation delicately. Surely you think their next move would be calm, calculated, and professional. Or you could make passive-aggressive statements on social media and go after content creators for talking about it. And when I say go after, I mean strike their channels for talking about The Last of Us 2 leaks. Not a good look. So essentially what's been happening, and some channels have gotten their channels back and the strikes alleviated, luckily. Don't know if that's going to happen to me. Don't like, YouTube has been getting shitty forever, but that's another video. But the good news is that a lot of the channels that have been getting striked are getting their videos back and their channels alleviated from the strike, because once you get a strike, it's basically borderline game over. You lose certain features, you can't do certain things, and if you make a living on YouTube, you're no longer making money. So it's very bad on Sony and Naughty Dog's part to be going after channels who haven't even showed any footage, because everyone's pretty, you know, self-aware when it comes to like, oh, well, since this is hidden stuff, don't want to put it out there, so I'm just going to talk about it. And I'm still getting striked. And it's very unfortunate for a company like Naughty Dog and Sony to do this, because that's low. It's very low. Because we know attacking your customer base and content creators who talk about your game is such a good idea. It always works in your favor. Always. Now, I'm going to be honest here, I don't really too much care for The Last of Us. I did play it a while back, the definitive edition. I bought it on the PS4, and I did play it, but I never really got too invested to the point to where I wanted to beat it. Now, I will play it at some point because I've heard it's a really good game. It does look good, it plays good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was garbage and that I didn't enjoy it, just wasn't invested enough to see it from beginning to end. Because as I understand it, the first game was very good narrative and storytelling wise. And it's sad to see yet another seemingly good IP get dragged through the mud because of all of this negative press. Now the next question is, will the game do well? It's kind of hard to say at this point. A lot of people are saying that they won't buy it, but it's still up there as one of the top most rated or well sought after games via pre-orders or something. So, you know, we'll have to see where the loyalties lie for everyone who's out there beating their chest saying how they're not going to buy the game. My prediction is that the game will sell a decent amount of copies, but probably won't meet their sales expectations. That, and it'll more than likely have a low score on the user side of reviews when it comes to, you know, game reviews. Like maybe many YouTubers or, you know, the user score in the, you know, the critic websites will be low. Meanwhile, we already know the major sites like IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku, blah, 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 are probably going to be kissing this game's ass, saying it's brave, stunning and brave, stunning and brave, stunning and brave. And if you don't like the game, then you're a ignorant, bigot, racist, homophobe, or some shit like that. We know how it goes. As sucky as it is, it's pretty much how it's gonna go, I think. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for a potential trilogy of Horizon Zero Dawn? Does it kind of burn you that Samurai Shodown did what it did? What do you think about the new PlayStation 5 Dual Sense controller? And last but not least, what's your whole take on this whole Last of Us Part 2 debacle? Do you think it's dead on arrival? Do you still plan on buying it? Do you care less and you just want to stay for the memes because those are so fucking delicious? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And as you know, I read them all. If you like this video, leave a like. If you dislike this video, leave a dislike. And if there's nothing else, I am your Immortal Afro Josh. This is the Immortal Afro YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next upload. Peace. Samurai Shodown is confirmed for the Epic Games Store.
Samurai?
I'm recording. And I heard what I said. That's why I do multiple takes. That's going in a blooper reel. Thanks. Now, of course, this is just my subjective opinion. I haven't held it or played it or anything. For all I know, it could play amazingly. The new pulse triggers could feel like I'm, you know, fingering... I don't want to say that. Yeah, because like most of the stuff I wrote down, but I kind of want to, you know, mix up some stuff off the top of my head so it doesn't sound scripted completely. But
mixing something if you're using those.
Yeah. Okay, what did I write? And the memes, the memes are perfect, delicious, delicious. They are so good. Why? That was good. That was it. I had to take. What are you doing?
Slowly dying. Slowly dying.
Well, could you stop? I'm in the middle of something here. If you hadn't noticed. Let me know when you're done. We all settled now?
Yes.
Doesn't sound like it.
Because you said that.
Well, I'm trying to emphasize how delicious the memes are.
I've noticed.